Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Wednesday, the 19th of August 2026. In today's Millwall news, sold out very quickly, sold out today, the second day of sales before it got to all season ticket holders. That would have been yesterday would have been all season ticket holders, so it was, you needed, I think it was it 540, 550, something like that, points to get a ticket to Cambridge in the Cup. Who knew? Suddenly everybody cares about the Carabao Cup. Didn't give a toss, a few years ago when we played them. But, some suggestions that some people may have bought these tickets just to get the 10 loyalty points and to bump them up for future things. But there may be a few of them, but I don't think that's wholesale because, I think if that went to all season ticket holders, then you would see that behaviour. But this was still under restriction. It was still, there was still a limit on points holders who could get this game, who could get tickets to this game. I just think it's testament and tantamount to the, the investment that's being put into the squad. The team is getting better. The manager's getting better. They're investing in the ground. The fans are responding. The fans are like, oh, okay, let me go to this game then. And but it's double, 1,400 fans, and that is double what we took last time, the EFL Cup, and it was actually in 2022. And there were 783 fans there for that game. I was one of them. And just a mad game. I told you about it the other day. Bradshaw jumped up for a ball, dropped down, got injured after 3 minutes. Afobe was on the bench, but they brought Olofi on instead. Olofi looked absolutely out of his depth. Obviously, very young at the time. He's come on leaps and bounds since then. And maybe the situation was like the making of him. I don't know, but probably he'll tell us that in the future when he does football podcasts after he's retired. I don't know. But yeah, double. So, I mean, how far we have come. So far, yet so near. Still playing Cambridge. But this time, obviously, this is the second round. And if we win the second round, this is a winnable game, and obviously there is the Neil Harris connection there. But this is a winnable game. And once you get to the third round, that's when the real big boys come in. The teams that are playing in Europe. Liverpool's. Chelsea. No, Chelsea aren't in Europe, are they? Your Man Cities, your Man Uniteds. The big teams. Funnily enough, though, they don't actually play their big players in the Carabao Cup. So we'll get the big team, but it'll be in name only. So, but again, that's then makes it a winnable game. It does make it a winnable game. So, we'll see how that goes. But talking of tickets, we now have this. If you didn't know, if you were on holidays, you missed it. There are now 2 selling periods for home games. There is an exclusive period for members, and then they go on general sale if there were any left. That was because of the situation at the end of the season where members couldn't get tickets, but people who weren't members could get tickets. So they've introduced, a period just for members to buy tickets before anyone else can do that. And we now have the announcement of the Mill versus Wrexham tickets. Mill will welcome Wrexham to the Den in the Sky Bet Championship Wednesday the 2nd of September. So this is 2 weeks into the future. So again, they're cutting it very fine with this. I don't know why that is. And tickets are now on sale to official, junior line and wall wide members. This game is a Category B fixture, and ticket prices will increase by £3 on match days. If you buy it in advance, you get a discount. Tickets in blocks 17 and 20 and 2730 will be available to anyone who has an account on the ticket system only. No general sales within this area. Interesting. I believe, is that still West Lower and East Upper? So they haven't added the North Stand to that. If you're North Stand, you can go to General Sale then. Interesting. Obviously, we're still waiting for we're halfway through the month. We're still waiting for the first home game, which is coming up this Saturday. So again, there's bits and pieces going to be changed. They've got new turnstiles at some places, digital ones that you're supposed to scan yourself. We'll see how well that goes when people start walking in with kids' tickets. But I'm sure they'll then just have to bring the stewards back anyway. But yeah, defeats the purpose, doesn't it? But yeah, what is the period though? What is the exclusive period for? Is it the same every time? Because they don't tell us here. Did they tell us here? They don't tell us here. Am I missing it? I don't think I am missing it. Mate, is it a week? Is it just until Saturday? I don't know. I think for the Norwich game, it was It was 7 days or something. So again, you do have an exclusive period, but we have no idea how long that is, which kind of defeats the purpose because you probably need to know. Because if you don't know, do you do it literally today? Do you have to do it today, tomorrow morning, first thing, or when can you leave it to? Like, what is the last minute? Some people are like that; they leave things to the last minute. But good idea, because otherwise, what is the point of a membership? If they weren't doing this before and now they started to do it, it's like, well, otherwise, what is the point of a membership? Like, what is it? Just you take it down to Derby and Joan Club and you whip out your membership card and you start pulling all the birds. Like, what is the point of it? Well, now there is a point to it. Now, another injury update. Yesterday we heard from Alex Neil about Femia's. It's a Grade 1B. Grade 1B. So much like your pencils at school, it is a 1B or a 2. Was it 2B? 2A. Or when you get to art class, they had the S's because they were soft and you could do shading with them. But yeah, Grade 1B for Femia's is on the hamstring. Now we have some information about Ivanovic and Servais. From southwarknews.co.uk, Mill boss reveals the latest on Ivanovic and Servais. What is that latest? Mihailo Ivanovic is still quite a few weeks away, Alex Neil said. Ivanovic, 21, fractured his metatarsal in early July. Shortly after returning to training, he had been granted an additional week off due to international duty with Serbia. The striker was jogging on the sidelines during the in-house game when he turned awkwardly and suffered the injury. At a fans forum earlier this month, Director of Football Steve Gallen suggested Ivanovic might be back in early September. Alex Neil was asked if this was still the case. I did say that was a little bit optimistic at the time. We'll wait and see with Milo. He's still quite a few weeks away, I think. Neil was also asked about the status of summer signing Matisse Servais, who suffered a hamstring injury in a pre-season friendly against Bromley last month. Matisse, he's making good progress. Again, we'll just need to wait and see what happens in the next couple of weeks. Fantastic. They're as clear as mud. So a couple of weeks, the old Tam Brighton special. When's he coming back? In a couple of weeks. And then you ask a month later, no Tam Brighton, when's he coming back? In a couple of weeks. It's always a couple of weeks. So again, you do wonder though, now, will Ivanovic struggle to get on even on the bench? I mean, I don't know. Now we've got Dykes and we've got Coburn. All pretty similar to some extent. Obviously, Ivanovic is probably more of a hybrid. Coburn and Dykes pretty similar, to be fair. But there you go. Now, moving on to this. Some bizarre stories coming out today. This is from the Reading Chronicle, which is at the readingchronicle.co.uk. It's got some mad adverts on it, which I can't seem to get rid of and block, but here we go. So, this has riled up the Hornets' nest. Not Watford, actually, the Bubbles, the West Ham fans. Not too happy about this. What the fuck's going on there? Are you serious? Because what's he's done? Oh, it's not in the headline. And in the thing on X that I saw, Teddy Sheringham was saying that Femi Aziz was better than Jared Bowen. So we'll see. What did he actually say? So yeah, let's have a look. So former Reading FC winger Femi Aziz has been backed for the Premier League by Teddy Sheringham, Sir Edward Sheringham, MBE, who has made the striking claim that the Millwall man is better than Jared Bowen. This is the thing. I think he's trying to get back into the Millwall fans' good books. Yeah, I don't understand why they turned against. It's not like he went straight from Millwall to West Ham. You know, it was at the end of his career. He wanted to make a bit of cheddar. He wanted some money. Yeah, of course. You know, and apparently he was a boyhood fan of West Ham. Although he said that at every club he's gone to, so I'm not sure that's true. Aziz has flourished since leaving the Royals for Millwall in 2024 and became one of the Championship's standout attacking players last season, registering 11 goals and 8 assists in 35 league appearances. As the Lions reached the playoff semi-finals, the 25-year-old's form has reportedly attracted interest from Hull City and Brighton and Hove Albion this summer, with Millwall facing a fight to retain a player who's become central to Alex Neil's side. Speaking to Met Bonus about Femi Aziz, former Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur striker Sheringham said, so here's the thing with these stories that pop up, and there's another one coming up. These seem to be adverts, but they're coached as stories. So they get, I don't know if they get the guy to talk to them. Maybe they just make it up and say, can we say you said this? You know, these betting companies, just to like put some kind of publicity out there, because I don't think, are they allowed to advertise anymore? I don't know. They keep changing the rules. You used to see the Paddy Power ads all the time. Maybe they are in some. Yeah, they must do, because obviously the Racing Post and whatnot still exists, so they must be able to do that. So, but yeah, they keep doing these stories and they try to make it look like a story when it's just an advert. And like, is this company paying the Reading Chronicle to do this? I don't know. But you can see the most read. It's the most read. Teddy Sheringham. So how much are they paying for this? I don't know. But, you know, with the state of local press at the moment, it would not surprise me. But I think, you know, it's quite clear that you can see around the outside there's plenty of adverts. And it's quite clear that they are adverts. If this is a paid promotion, should they not tell us that this is a paid promotion? Now, you would say, well, it says speaking to Met Bonus, and it's up to you to draw the conclusion. Teddy Sheringham said, Femi Aziz has been a revelation. I can't believe he's still at Millwall, to be honest. I love him. He's a left-footed right winger that just puts the ball in areas for the centre forwards to attack where defenders don't like the ball being delivered. And whether it's right, left foot, you know, he's phenomenal. He's a real talent. You know, worth turning up to see and pay the ticket price for him alone. He's always going to do something special. I can't keep my eyes off him. Steady on, mate. Steady on. And then they go on to, you know, some more stuff. Yeah, the background. The best feedback you can get as a winger is when your fullback knows exactly what you're going to do, and you do it anyway, said Sheringham. And Femi Aziz, you know, he's now able to manoeuvre it one way or another and get the ball delivered along that 6-yard line. He's incredible. The former England forward then made an eye-catching comparison, placing Aziz above both West Ham's Bowen and Chelsea winger Mohamed Kudus. How he's still at Millwall, I don't know. You know, I would have expected one of the second tier or Premier League clubs to come in for him. There's so many left footers who play on the right, but I compare him to Mohamed Kudus, and Femi Aziz is a better player. Jared Bowen, ? You know, he's better than him. I think he's quality. Sheringham added, when you can do what he does, week in, week out with every team trying to stop you, you're an unbelievable player. I'm so surprised he's still there, but delighted he is. As long as you've got someone like that on the football pitch, we've got a good chance of doing special things. And I hope he can take Millwall up in a very special season this year. I just hope his injury isn't anything too serious. So there you go there, Teddy Sheringham. And now, moving to this, like I said, another one of these stories, and this time from the Southern News. Razor who? I presume Razor Ruddock, but says playoff repeat will be a massive task for Millwall. So what's this about then? Yes, here we go. Former England international Neil Ruddock said it would be a massive task for Millwall to reach the playoffs again this season. The Lions made the... Yeah, we know all about that. Don't have to tell us we lost the hole again, please. Please. Millwall started well, winning their first 2 games of the season. Well, technically, we drew the first one. We won it. We won the tie. We drew the game. Technically, But Ruddock, who came through the Lions Academy and also played for Southampton, Tottenham Hotspur and Liverpool, believes repeating last season's achievement will be difficult. It's hard to see us matching last season's run, Ruddock told iGaming.com. That squad was unbelievable. No star names, just pure graft, running, hard tackles and scoring gritty goals. We did all the heavy lifting, made the playoffs and then went to Hull and lost 2-0. Missing out to a team we were better than. Repeating that effort is a massive task. As a Millwall supporter, I always carry that defensive pessimism, much like Arsenal fans worrying they'll mess up the title. Deep down, I struggle to visualise us in the Premier League. But as long as they leave everything on the pitch, the fans will back them. And we'll definitely be in the mix now. There are more playoff spots too, so it's all good. That's Razor Ruddock there. Does he speak like that? He's very bombastic and he's very outgoing, so maybe he does, I don't know. Now, talking of tickets, this seems to confirm that the under-21 game, is being played at the Den. We had conflicting reports. Some said Calmet Road, some said the Den. Well, this is at the Den because they're selling tickets. It's next Tuesday, so you don't have to buy tickets. You can just turn up on the day. I think I don't know why they buy tickets, but probably just to let you know. Mill under-21s host Huddersfield Town under-21s at the Den in the Professional Development League home opener on Tuesday the 25th of August. Kickoff is at 1 p.m. Tickets are priced at £5 for adults and £1 for under-18s. Under-18 season ticket holders go free of charge. So possible to do 2 Millwall games in a day. That 1 p.m. kickoff, very doable. That you can watch this game. Finishes around 3 o'clock. You can then travel up to Cambridge and watch the cup game if you are lucky enough to get a ticket. And if you want, you can watch it on TV. We'll certainly be on Sky Sports Plus, but you can also do this game as well. The Barry Kitchener Lower will be open for this fixture with Harry's Bar serving hot and cold drinks. So, and again, they say you can do a double, Now, obviously, even though they have this could still be moved. There are, it's very unusual, but there are circumstances where it could be moved. We've got the weather. We're finally getting some rain. Apparently, it's going to be raining a lot tomorrow, they're saying, but I mean, their predictions have been pony all summer, so I don't know about that. So that might affect it. Also might affect it is the poor situation that happened yesterday at the Valley, Charlton Athletic. Have you heard this story? They found the body of a man. The body of a man was found inside the stadium. Some suggestion, I don't know if this was deliberate or was just a poor accident, that he climbed up somewhere and fell very quickly down, and that was good night Vienna for him. So there was supposed to be an under-21 game against Bolton, and they had to move it at very short notice, so probably fair enough for them to do that rather than just cancel it. But don't know what happened there, whether it was a deliberate act of self-harm or if it was someone doing graffiti or someone filming a stunt for YouTube or what it was, but yeah, they're gone. They have passed away. They're very weird circumstances there. So let's hope that doesn't happen next season or next week at this game, ahead of this game. Now, moving on to this, but this isn't the end. There's one more thing after this. So transfer done deals, obviously we're nearly there. I think all our business is done, really. I think what might happen, I think if we announce a loan out, especially if it's an overage player, I think that will then probably facilitate maybe a loan in. I did think that the reason why this under-21 game is at the Den, and that this is like only one of 2 league games that they're going to put at the Den, because this is before the window closes. So obviously it gives a chance for scouts, etc., to come to the Den and watch the game, and maybe take some of these loan players from the under-21s that they're trying to get into the competitive men's football. So we'll see if any more loans come out, because after the transfer window closes, the only loans that can happen are to National League teams. So again, we'll see how that goes, but these are the done deals, all of them. Quite a lot of movement now in the Premier League. Obviously, they are behind us by a week or 2 because of the World Cup. But what are we looking at? We're looking at the Championship teams that have done business today. Burnley, they've signed Gregor Couder from Brest in France. I believe he's a goalkeeper. George Urphy has gone from West Ham to Reading for a permanent transfer. I believe he was on loan there at the end of last season, so they made that a permanent deal. Anthony Musaba has gone from Fenerbahce to Norwich on loan. And this is the big one. Joel Perreault, remember him? Leeds United, obviously a few years older by now. He's gone on loan to West Ham. So again, strengthening their squad. Does seem to be that way. And this is the thing. There are levels, and they can just push the button. They can push the magic money button, and they can take it up a few levels, especially in January, if they need to. So you would hope that they probably think they're going to be there or thereabouts at the top of the table in January, and I guarantee, much like Coventry did, they will still bring a few players in. But there you go. So that's the transfers for today. Did we do the ones from yesterday? Did we? Yeah, I think we did, didn't we? Yeah, we did, because I made a joke about Bertie Wooster. That wasn't very funny. Now, moving on. Now, this is the end. It's happened again. Deja vu. Deja vu. Ladies and gentlemen, Bermondsey Waste Centre fire disrupts trains. Again. I'm not sure if it's the exact same building. I think it's just a different building, but it's probably part of the same complex. Gone up in flames again. The last one I think was in June, was it not? So here we go again. And like moths, there are the people there, like moths, drawn to the flame. And they all seem to be filming, and I will tell you, nobody wants to buy, media company wants to use a photo of a close-up fire, because it is not in context. No one has a fucking clue what it is. Could be anywhere. Where is it? A lot of the photos I've seen going around the media, they're from far away. They're from up in a tower block. They're from, maybe drone shots. People can take, they can see the scale, the ginormous scale of what's going on, and they can pinpoint the location. If you can get like the Houses of Parliament way back in the background, or Canary Wharf, which is a bit closer, they want to see the scale. They don't want to see a fucking you going close up and taking a close up photo, and that's not what people want to see. But yeah, this happened yesterday, 8 o'clock. So this was going on while I was filming it. Now, funnily enough, normally when there's a fire around here, I'm close enough to smell it. I didn't smell this, so I don't know. Maybe there's something wrong with my nostrils, or I don't know. But some London Overground trains remain suspended after a fire involving 50 tonnes of household waste severely damaged a recycling facility in South East London. 15 fire engines were called to Landman Way in South Bermondsey shortly before 2000 hours British summertime on Tuesday, according to London Fire Brigade, which said the fire was brought under control 6 hours later. 6 hours fighting that fire. No East London line services are running from Surrey Quays to New Cross due to an unsafe structure next to the den, which I believe is this. You can't see it. Oh, you can see the background. So if you look through inside the building, you can see the walls are literally there's nothing there. It's just corrugated iron. And they are like loosely riveted on. And the fire has caused some of them to be loose and flapping around. So some worry that they might, blow onto the tracks. Trains from Highbury and Islington to Crystal Palace, Clapham and West Croydon are severely delayed. The London Fire Brigade said the cause of the fire was not yet known. The firefighters tackled a blaze at the same facility in June. So yeah, the same place. And, the cause of the fire now could be one of these chats threw a lit cigarette down instead of disposing it properly, or could be a device with a lithium-ion battery was in it and it got crushed up, and then it started. Once you expose lithium to oxygen, as in air, it gets very hot very quickly and goes up like a firework. So don't put stuff that has a rechargeable battery into your rubbish. There are places where you can get rid of it. I think there's even like a thing outside the fire station on Old Kent Road. I'm not too sure. I think there is. Speaking from the scene, Station Commander Duncan Rees said crews worked hard in difficult conditions to bring the fire under control. Ladders were used to tackle the flames from above. And there you can see, this is what I'm talking about. Now, this is a good photo. You can't see the flames, though. If it was a bit higher, it might be even better. But, there you go. This is presumably taken from Wapping, somewhere like that. I don't know. Crews from East Greenwich, Old Kent Road, Deptford and surrounding fire stations were dispatched to the scene. Rail services into London Bridge from New Cross were affected due to the fire blocking railway lines, National Rail said. Trains between these stations may be cancelled, severely delayed by up to 100 minutes or revised, it said on Tuesday. And then they've got eyewitness statement. But yeah, the trains were all messed up. The fire was actually on the track. One of these, it came through underneath these arches, and it was coming through the arch, and it was burning you can see these bushes. They don't do anything about them. They're not allowed to spray any the weed killer down. They're not allowed to do nothing. They can't do anything. That is environmental bollocks. So they just let them grow, and they grow, and they grow, and then the train hits it, and that stops it from growing. But yeah, some of these bushes that were on top of that thing were on fire as well. So kind of worried, like, there's gonna be a problem with the trains maybe going on for Saturday. No, apparently it's fine. It was just cosmetic. It was just some bushes were on fire because of the spark going over there. I think they've reopened it now, except for I don't think trains, East London Line trains to New Cross are going still, because that track is closer to it, like I said. But the concern is just the stuff from the thing blowing onto the track. So if all they got to do is knock the loose stuff down, it should be fine for Saturday. But again, might be a problem if you're travelling if you use that line to travel to the game on Saturday. So you probably have to check Saturday morning. There's a thing going as well. They got a problem with like lack of drivers or something. I don't know if they're all on their summer holidays, but yeah, they're cancelling like every other train, or 1 out of 4 trains because they have a lack of drivers. So yeah, I don't know what that's about, but yeah, that's it. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.